Hello and welcome to Clovers Quilting. My name is Diahn. I didn't really know what to do for this video today, and I've lost a little bit of my sewjo. The days are getting shorter and the evenings seem so long, and I'm just really struggling with the loss of my dad. And I just haven't felt like sewing very much, and I've just struggled a little bit. So I apologize that I haven't been on here it's been a while since I've been on, so I'm so sorry. So this is my 23rd video, which is 23 is my favorite number. My birthday's on the 23rd, so maybe that's why. So I thought today, to make it a special video, I'd make it about memories. So, makes me cry. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. After we lost Mom, Dad he just took a little trip to a different town to go shopping. And he came back and I was cleaning out the closet. And poor Mom and Dad had a tiny closet in their room, so I just took, and her Mom's clothes encompassed the whole closet, plus all the dressers and everything. She had a lot of stuff. So Dad's closet was in the spare bedroom. So he came back there and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm giving you my closet back. I'm giving you your closet back." And he started to cry. And I had stuff that I'm going to donate and stuff that I wanted to cut up to make a memory quilt and things like that. So my mom she was just her. She wore t-shirts and jeans. That's it. The jacket she usually wore, she loved to wear like a denim shirt as a jacket. And she had some with, I'll show you, I made a quilt for Dad. She had some with roses on it or flowers embroidered, some with just some different stitching and just some cool denim jacket shirts that she wore as jackets. So the first thing I did is I went through and I found all of her t-shirts because that was really who she was. So I cut up her t-shirts and she had a ton of Betty Boop t-shirts, which we know Betty Boop was her sewing room theme, and cats. I guess I get it from her. So I also found a couple of Christmas sweatshirts that one was this, and I thought it was super cute. My cat's trying to get down here, so just ignore the little clicks. Christmas sweatshirts. So she had 3 that were in decent shape, so I took them and I just cut them as big as I could get them. This is about a 12-inch square. And she also always wore like little turtlenecks under them. Little turtlenecks, and this one has Santas on it. So I thought that went really well with this green. So I just snowballed the corners. So I cut this, and it was about 12-inch square flat. And if you're not sure what a snowballed corner is, let's just pretend here. Here's one of my pieces of fabric. Say this is the shirt. Say this is the piece you're wanting to do. Take a piece, a square, the size you want. Let's just make this kind of into a square. The size you want, and you draw a line from corner to corner, and you sew on that corner to corner, and then flip it back, and you get what looks like this little corner. It just replaces that corner with the different fabric that you were using. So I took all those snowballed corners, and I did I sewed another line, and I turned it into a pinwheel and put it on the back. And of course, my pinwheels aren't perfect, so I put a little snowflake button on top of it. And so I made one for me. This is the one I remember her wearing the most. And she had 2 other ones, and I made a pillow for Karen Forster, who was a friend for 50 years, and one for Edith Holt, who they work together, and you get those 2 together, and it just sounds like high school or junior high girls just giggling. That's all they did. So Edith got one too. And when I lived in Seattle, Mom came out one time and we went to, I want to say it was Hancock Fabrics, and there was this fabric. Of course, it's not my favorite color, but now can you see it? It says Karen on it. And that was Mom's name. And I'm like, well, you have to get that. So I put little Karen tags on all of these, just as a reminder of Mom. And I just thought that was kind of cool. She made vests and jackets, and she lined those vests and jackets with all this Karen fabric, which was kind of fun. So Mom was so creative, and she could do anything. It was just really fun to watch her work. Sorry. Anyway, this is what I made, and I just cut that out of a sweatshirt, snowballed the corners, stuffed it with polyfill, and it is amazing how much polyfill goes into one of these little dudes. So then I just whip stitched a little bit on the bottom. You can't tell. It's fuzzy, so it just kind of filled in. And it's been sitting on my couch for 5.5 years. So it's just been, it was really a fun project to do in memory of Mom. So that wasn't a very good tutorial on how to do a snowball, but you kind of get the gist. So I took her cat shirts, t-shirts, and her Betty Boop t-shirts, and I cut them all up. And that was really tough. How do you get all these different size motifs and everything to coordinate together? So on the back of every t-shirt, I put a lightweight Pellon iron on, just so it didn't have that stretch to it. So I'm just looking at the quilt that's on the wall. I also took my embroidery machine and I embroidered some sayings or motifs. I did a cross. The shirt I did for her that said "Sewing is my superpower," I cut that out and put that in there. I made her that shirt. I have a picture of her over there with it on for Mother's Day, or holding it up that she got it for Mother's Day. And there's all kinds of different, you just don't know how to get everything together. So I cut these pieces out and I laid them on the floor and I started drawing and drawing. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you this quilt and kind of explain a little bit what I did along the way. It was very therapeutic, and I remembered her wearing all of these things. So I hope you enjoy it. I'll be right back. Okay guys, the first video I did didn't work, so let's try this again. Here is the entire full quilt of this t-shirt and jeans quilt, or jean quilt and embroidery menagerie I made for Mom. It's pretty dang big and it's heavy with the jeans. It came out to be about 80 by 102. All of the t-shirts I have backed with an iron-on Pellon. So let's just take a closer peek. This piece is a pleated jacket she had, so I cut that out. I'm just gonna go down the side, I think. And she loved Grumpy Cat, so that was hilarious. We laughed so hard when I gave her that for a birthday or Christmas one time. I had fun once, it was awful. And we cracked up. So it looks a tiny bit pink because I think it was washed with something red. Whoops, not the best washer in the world. And I tried to get the pink out, but you know, it's gonna be all right. This over here on the left is one of her denim shirts that had embroidery on it. So I used that as one of the border strips. And this Love Betty right here was a really cool shirt. And the motif was huge. But where the pocket is, there is an armhole. It was kind of under the arm. So I thought, I want to use that, but what am I going to do with that hole? So I just put one of her pockets here, and when I gave it to Dad, I put a little note in there for Dad. And it was kind of cool. And it was just kind of sentimental. So there's that one. Then here are a couple of pieces I embroidered on my embroidery machine. And I'm not gonna read them because they make me cry. And I just used different, like the backs of her t-shirts for the backings, or the background of this. And it worked out really, really good. And of course put Pellon on it, an iron-on Pellon to stabilize it. And more denim, a jean pocket, cat yoga. I got her that shirt one year. Sorry for the unironed quilt. And we cracked up because look at that middle one. It just is funny. We think we're hilarious. So then here's one of her jean pockets. There's a shirt with some denim detail on it. This Sewing is My Superpower is from that shirt I made her for Mother's Day one year, and yeah, she thought that was so cool. And who doesn't want a tie-dyed cat? I thought that was fun, so I bought her that shirt, and of course she wore all these a lot. More jeans, more denim. I embroidered this cross in a silver metallic, and it turned out so pretty. And then this one, let's see if we can get down there. And just such pretty sentiments. I just love it. So let's go back up to the top. Hopefully I don't get you too dizzy. Okay, this Betty Boop was a sweatshirt, and then those two pieces on either side with the red and like the silver studs, that was on a jacket or a vest I found she made. So I cut those out. So those are Mom's little handy details that are in her quilt. Here's a big black kitty. And here is a kitty, looks like a little bib overalls shirt, and he's hiding in the pocket. These are all huge motifs, and I put those down the middle because I didn't really know how to set this up. I just kept laying it out. Here's Betty Boop Biker, and here's another big kitty on a tie-dyed like shirt, or what am I trying to say? Marbled shirt, and he's just cute and looking out at everybody. And this Betty Boop was Betty Boop fleecy jammy pants. So we got everything in here. Now we're gonna go back up to the top, and we have another big motif of this kitty in the fishbowl. And there goes, Mom had a big black cat named Midnight, and there goes a fish flying out. This denim on the right is one of her denim shirts that had this detail on it, which was really kind of fun. So I tried to incorporate that into a couple different places. Here's a couple of different embroidery motifs I did on her shirts, just for this quilt. And this I think is my absolute favorite saying. I cross-stitched, I'm a cross-stitcher from way back. I cross-stitched her a memory pillow, and it had her favorite colors. It was like teals, it had feathers on it, and it was teals and purples and magentas, and it said that same saying, and it was all these feathers coming down, and I put her name and her date on it, and I found this feather fabric that matched really well for the border and the backing, and it was just perfect. The same colors, it was just really fun, and I entered it in the fair and I got a blue ribbon, so that was really, really pretty fun in her honor. And love wild nights. Mom was a night owl. She would stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning. She did her best work in the middle of the night. She would sew half the night. She would clean or cook or do whatever she needed to do, and nighttime was definitely her time. Here's the back of that pleated shirt, that denim shirt. Down here is another piece of that embroidered denim shirt that she used to wear as a jacket. Here is, this was I think it was a t-shirt, maybe it was a sweatshirt. It's these studded kitties. They're kind of hard to see, and one's got a little rhinestone bow tie. And these two pieces on either side, she made these to go on that vest. She always liked to do crazy stitching and thread painting and all kinds of fun stuff like that. And it has silver metallic thread and a variegated thread with it. Really fun. And here's another star-spangled kitty. Must have been her 4th of July shirt. And a pocket from her jeans. And down here is a velveteen type cat with a rhinestone collar and a Betty Boop and some more of that crazy stitching and studs from that vest. Pocket, more denim, and what part of meow don't you understand? And that's just how Mom was. She's like, this is who I am, and take it or leave it. And you know, great person. She did a lot for a lot of people, and she could do with fabric, she could do anything. She was crafty, she was fun. And there is another view of the quilt. So I hope you enjoyed looking at this memory quilt. It was very therapeutic to make this and touch all the things that were hers. And I could remember her wearing these outfits, and she was a t-shirt and jeans kind of gal, and you know, that's all she was. Just no, she wasn't pompous at all. She was who she was, and we miss her every single day. So there is the quilt I made. I'll be right back. Thank you guys so much for coming along on this sentimental journey with me today. It made me cry a little bit, but you know, tears only are there when love lived first, I guess. And she was very much loved. Sorry. And we miss her every day. So this is the quilt I made in her honor, and I want to do one for Dad too. He was kind of he wore a lot of t-shirts, but he had to have a pocket because, you know, he had to have somewhere to put his glasses. So I'm going to do something with some of Dad's shirts, and Mom had a few Native American shirts because, you know, that's a little bit of our heritage. And so Dad was wearing those. He just took over wearing Mom's Native American shirts. So I think I'm going to make a couple of pillows out of those and give those to some of their really good friends. And maybe make a little table topper for some other really good friends, just out of things that hopefully they remember Dad wearing. And he used to wear jeans. Nope. He was done with that. He wanted comfort. So the pants he always wore were sweatpants. And Mom, she just was like, oh, why is he wearing sweatpants? But, you know, that's what he wore. That's what he liked. He was comfortable in them. And he would call them his dress sweats and his regular sweats. So he'd keep his really good sweats for when he went out. And it just cracked me up. So his sashings and borders and stuff will probably be done with sweatpants, and a little different than Mom's denim. Oh, I forgot to show you something on there. I'll be right back. I forgot to show you that the sashing is her jeans, and I just did all blue jeans because she had every color of jean imaginable. I will be making a denim quilt with all of her crazy jeans. Let's see if I can find one of these. And then I sashed with this Karen fabric because, you know, if you have Karen fabric, then that's your name. You have to have the fabric. So anyway, there's the Karen fabric that I forgot to show you. So there we go. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry I forgot to show you that Karen fabric, but that's too cool to forget. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. Please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing with your friends. I appreciate it so very much that you tune in, take your time to watch and respond. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, drop it in the comment box down below. If you have any idea on how to quilt this, that is probably why it's still sitting here, because I don't know what to do with it. There are so many different textures and seams and fabrics, and there's heavy and thin, and I don't really know how to quilt it. If you guys have a suggestion, drop it in the comment box. I'd love to hear it, because I just really don't know how to finish it up. I don't want to distort the kitty faces. I just want it to look fun and be a great memory for Mom. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. Please stay happy, stay healthy, and stay creative. See you soon. Bye-bye.